mine. We're on the way to a VIP.
Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done.
Let's make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun on Office Hours. Episode 587 or so. Oh, sorry, 857 or so. I cut out 300 episodes. Only way you can do that is to have a soul of business that was created by 𝗵𝗵 𝗪𝗏, the OG of Office Hours. It's always great to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining me.
Always great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to riff.
It's so beautiful. I will tell you, I love the book Compassionate Capitalism. It was a blessing in my life, but for some reason, Don't Do Business with Dicks. That title sells better than Compassionate Capitalism. I just don't understand why.
Well, hey, it just kind of, people I can see their eyeball spin and their head twirl.
I think it's the subject matter. Everybody wants to talk about dicks. So
Yep.
I think it's more popular. Speaking of dicks, we have our other co-host who is not a dick. Rhett Power. Rhett Power, my man. Where are you, Rhett Power?
I am in North Carolina, man. I'm going to watch my kid play on stage in a few minutes.
So, sweet. Well, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah.
Incredible author, speaker, entrepreneur, and dear friend of mine. It's good to have you back in the United States. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back, man. Just got out of the craziness of the Middle East. Just got back this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. You and I both just kind of squeaked out of that. That was good. Yeah. I just got back last week. That just.
I know. I missed the cartel down in Cabo, and you guys missed the war in the Middle East. So God is protecting, promoting love, and perfecting the three middle-aged white men here on Office Hours. Once again, blessed to be here. I don't know is our guest here yet, because if not, I got a question to ask.
Don't see his name on the list here.
All right, we're fine then. So in the reality of timing and risk tolerance, according to Don't Do Business with Dicks, one of the greatest fears I had in titling the book that was that I would create an unrealistic expectation of people of, my coach is mean, my boss, is not nice to me. And that's really not what the book's about, right? It's about removing toxicity and surrounding yourself with positive influence. And just because someone may not be nice or may be pushing you to your better self, that doesn't mean you should quit or separate yourself from the situation. How could, Blaine, you best articulate this timing and risk tolerance, especially for young people, that they have to put themselves into a growth opportunity that's going to hurt? And how do we distinguish the difference between someone that may not necessarily be coddling us, but also, I would say, some people in my life were kind of a dick, but for my betterment. My defensive coordinator, man, I hated him, and I would have called him a dick every which way. But I'm 58 years old, and I'm so glad that I had him for 4 years to make me a better man.
Yeah, my answer to that is you're going to run into all kinds of personalities, and that's going to be the gift that you've got here. So I want to be able to shift the energy of being a dick. That there's an energy around that can be, and that's the toxicity from the intent of somebody that is in my face, somebody that's hard in the sense of they're holding me to standards. They're holding me to a degree of excellence that I may not know that I could actually achieve, but until that bar gets raised, it's not going to be there. I'll go back to some Stoic philosophy on this. I think it was Scipio that said, if you have never, I pity the person who has never been tested. They have no idea of what they are capable of. And Martin Rainer Rilke, the philosopher, how we grow by being defeated by greater and greater things. So that's, you keep that in mind. Yeah, you got to have challenges in life. And doing business with don't do business with dicks is about not accepting toxicity. It's not about rejecting excellence.
Yeah, that is so true. We got the double M. I love the M&Ms, as you know. I have 4 of them at home myself. And we figured out Mark Meckler's technology issues. President of Convention of States Action. Welcome, my friend, to Office Hours episode 857 of Office Hours. Can you hear us? Oh, I think they.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rhett, in that concert, by the way, I didn't know that Mr. T was a Stoic philosopher as well, because he was the one quoted as saying, "I pity the fool. I pity the fool." So I didn't know he was a Stoic philosopher. Speaking of Stoic philosophers, as a dad, as a leader, as an author, as a speaker, entrepreneur, Rhett, pushing between somebody that's may not be nice to us, but with a different intention that may it may not be toxic. It just may be someone trying to bring the best out of us. How do you distinguish that for your own kids or people that have to put in the time to learn and grow?
It's funny, man. I just had this conversation with my son the last couple of weeks as he's interviewing for jobs, because he's getting ready to graduate in May. And what we came to, because we had this discussion, is it somebody giving you feedback out of love and out of desire to make you better, or is it somebody really being just an asshole and using it because of the power or the dynamic or because they can? If it's coming from a place of love, it's coming from a place of, I want you to be the absolute best you can be because that's going to help me make this organization better, or it's going to help you make more money, or it's going to help you be be more successful and grow. I think we can all tell when somebody where that's coming from, right? I think we all intuitively can tell if we listen to that intuition. Is that coming from a place of just assholery, or is that coming from a place of love and coaching and wanting to help you do the best that you can? And I think, I that's how I would answer the question. I mean, you can tell. I think we all can tell when somebody is coming from a place that's genuine.
Yeah, I remember Blaine when he was helping me through a hard time with my mom passing, and we were just talking about family, which we've done in the past too. And he said something that I thought at first was shocking, but it really moved me and just shows what a great coach and mentor he was. He said, just because someone's a family member doesn't mean you have to put up with toxicity. He didn't say just because someone's a family member doesn't mean they can't tell you the truth. And, we both know, Rhett, that, nobody likes feedback in the present. They don't like positive or negative feedback in the present. Nobody wants feedback in the present. Just like a problem and a solution, there's always a lapse of time before we can appreciate feedback. But there is a difference in toxicity, which is why I distinguish in the subtitle, which was really the original title, but I wanted, you can't sell a secret. So if nobody reads Compassionate Capitalism, we're not going to know how great it is. So I, learn you can buy a secret. So don't do business with dicks, and learn about positive influence. And sometimes people that are hardest on us are the greatest positive influence in our life. People who challenge us, who, just like God, right? I love Tim Story's quote. God will not invite you. He will not give you an invitation if he does without knowing your limitations. And so people that love us the most sometimes are giving us an invitation to be our best self, and they know our limitations. And, we may not give it that credit. Maybe our next amazing guest is here. Speaking of dicks, Hardik is hopefully here.
It's a good thing he works with you.
God. I love
Look how
that, man.
handsome. Look how handsome Hardik is, man. I love Hardik. He's amazing. Hardik Jagda, he is a world-renowned specialist in AI, working with the biggest companies in the world at the biggest and most prominent uh, topic or expertise that's needed today. Hardik's the chairman, CEO of Proximity Works and chairman of Proximity Foundation, an entrepreneur, investor, a philanthropist, changing the world. Hardik, I want to start with something that was presented today at our mastermind, where people were
Mhm.
asking for you because they wanted your AI wisdom because it's part of almost every conversation. Uh, there, there's a force and a counterforce in time and money historically, right? We spend our time to make money. When we have money, we spend our money to get more time. And I have found that the only thing that has ever broken this relationship between time and money is AI. It actually breaks the relationship between time and money in this respect, that
Yeah.
it actually gives you more time and more money. You don't have to give up one or the other to get the one or the other. Um, how do you see that statement? Agree, disagree, change it around. But I thought it was fascinating, the concept that AI breaks the relationship between time and money.
No, I love that analogy actually. And I've been speaking about this for more than 2 years now, David. As soon as we were pretty seriously invested in helping shape this technology, especially in the sports media and entertainment domain, I was always looking at how can it help you make more money. And like the first conversations were always around efficiency, like how would you save money, how would you cut costs. But now everyone is catching up. Like everyone is talking about what how can AI help you make more money. But since the beginning, it's if something if a game-changing piece of technology, if it doesn't help you save money or make money, I don't see why it should be implemented. But you rightly said that AI is the one that breaks those norms and allows you to save money as well as make money. So that is, yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
Well, yeah, along that line, if we start looking at through the lens of AI, agentic
Yeah.
AI is something that I
Yes.
think I'm just fascinated by it, and I'm particularly captured by the `OpenClaw
Yeah.
platform. Just the way that it can organize the use of basically agents,
Yeah.
and I can run an entire business off of a Mac Mini or 3 or 4 Mac Minis where I've got various agents being governed by OpenClaw.
Yeah.
David, when you're talking about time and money trade-offs there, that gets all of a sudden the game changes. What is and the question I've got with this, Hardik, is the adoption. Yeah, the
Yeah.
ability to adopt. What are you seeing, particularly with agentic AI? Chat and Claude and all of these other platforms
Yeah.
are what. But I think the future, such that it is in agentic work. What are you seeing in terms of both adoption and also difficulty of adoption?
The adoption challenges are mainly human. That is the
Mhm.
one that I've seen the most. Like the technology has been evolving at breakneck speed, and everyone has a slide deck right now with an AI strategy. Very few have actually started executing on it or deploying it. I was fortunate enough to actually work in this space much earlier. So we had, like, when we were deploying this, we had 40 million people watching streamed in, and we had 200 milliseconds to make a decision. So it's AI, it's the game. If you're working in sports or live sports, the game doesn't pause for your infrastructure to catch up. So we had to learn all of this the hard way over the past decade, building systems in this space. But when it comes to adoption, yeah, the biggest challenge, I take a step back. I'd also tell you that, 95% of AI pilots fail to generate any kind of meaningful ROI.
Mhm.
And that is a big number. If you look at, like, if you think that 95% of AI investments are failing, why are they failing? The main reason is because most most AI experiments or most AI investments, they start with technology first or tools first, and they don't think about ROI, or they don't think about the business outcome that they're trying to create. They don't think about, on a first principles level, what does your business do best? What is the growth lever for your business? If you put in a lot of automation in one place in your business, what is that one place that can actually turn your business into a 10x business today? And a lot of business owners don't have that clarity, and it is not that they don't know their business. The problem is that there is so much noise in the market, and every single person, every single company that they work with, they're trying to sell them the moon. They're trying to say that our platform can help you solve this problem and that problem. So it's as an executive, I really empathize with people, because it's very difficult to make those decisions today on what to build, what to buy, what to kill as an investment. And I think agentic AI and deploying a team of agents to run a lot of those things is where the biggest unlock is going to be for this year and next year.
Wow. Well, I can relate to what you're talking about, Hardik, because you and I are working on a project.
Yes, Rhett.
Let me ask you this. You have an event coming up in New York.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yep. So as I mentioned before, Rhett, we had to learn a lot of these frameworks the hard way, like what works and what doesn't work,
Right.
and how to be in that 5% category who actually makes AI work in their organization, and not only make it work, but make it into your secret weapon. So we've been doing this for a while now, and a lot of times people have asked us, can you start sharing some of the things that you've learned? So we put together a focused closed room in New York City on April 28 and 29. And we are going to share some of the frameworks that we've learned. We're going to work through certain live business problems of people who are going to be in the room. We're going to take those business problems. We're going to show how agentic AI can actually help them save money, make money. And like a lot of the talk around AI has always been around replacing people. But for me, it's always been about how do you enable your strongest teams to operate at a much higher level. So that is the thing that we want to help teams unlock, and just bring in a little bit more clarity, right? Like I said, so there's all the leaders are caught in the same place. There's pressure to move fast right now. There's at the same time, there's a real fear of making the wrong call, and it's a very real tension in a boardroom right now. So the workshop is designed to slow things down just enough to create that clarity, so decisions are deliberate and not reactive.
Good.
And Hardik, the importance of facilitating collective consciousness on AI at the highest level with CXOs that can bring real life, not only challenges, but real life opportunity, and then leverage not only your guidance and your facilitation, but their experiences as well, provides quantitatively an extreme ROI on the use of not only coming to the event, but spending the time that you can accelerate your business, not just in months, but in years of progress, and coming up with the key solutions that can unlock revenue, unlock engagement, unlock a variety of things that, as an isolated CXO stuck in a vacuum of a struggle, cannot unlock. And so I want to encourage people. I know Blaine, Rhett, and I have worked with C-level executives in the same capacity in our subject matter topic and expertise. And that the facilitator like Hardik Jagda, who's worked with the biggest companies in the world, and to bring the top CXOs into the same room to work through real time business opportunities and issues can result in millions of dollars of value in this 2 days. And I just want to encourage anyone that feels isolated, that has these types of challenges, that you are only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And the fastest way to get to where you want to be is find people that are already there and ask them for directions. And now we have a room full of people that can help facilitate and guided by the leading expert in the space. Is there anything you'd like to add that we're missing about the event on April 28th and 29th in New York City? I know we're having a VIP dinner for charity for the Unstoppable Foundation, which as always, you're so grateful and gracious. So we're bringing even more people in, thought leaders from around the world to help us in mindset, heart set, and handset at dinner. But what else are we missing about the event?
I'd say the room itself is the product, right? When you are, we've capped it at like a small number of people because the conversations that happen between the sessions, they are half the value.
Yeah, yes.
A CRO from a league talking to a broadcast VP who already solved the same problem they are about to spend 2 years figuring out. So you can't engineer that at a 500% conference. You can only engineer it when you are intentional about who's in the room. So I'd say, yeah, the room itself is going to be the big reason to be in New York.
I agree. Surround yourself with the right people and the right ideas. There's no reason to pay the dummy tax. Hardik has already done that for you, and so many others have as well. Come and join us in New York City, April 28th and 29th. If you want to learn more, come to proximity.tech/NYC-workshop, or just email me or Hardik directly. Hardik, you are amazing. We appreciate you. Continue to change the world with the biggest challenges and excitement in the history of technology, AI. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, David. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Hardik. Thanks.
𝗧𝗵𝗶, you got it, my friend. 𝗧𝗵𝗶.com. Check him out. Thanks for joining us. All right. As we are strolling through Office Hours episode 857 or so, we're going to move on to our next friend, John Lewis. Dr. John Lewis is in the house.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. Thank you very much you're the only one who has followed our suggested attire today. I don't know. I require Rhett and Blaine to wear suits and ties to every one of these, and I just have lost complete control of the show. So if you're ever looking to host a show, you dress the part. Let's see if you can walk the walk now. Our famous Dr. Lewis here, founder and president of Dr. Lewis Nutrition, and working on something that's near and dear to my heart, research on Alzheimer, something that impacts millions of people all around the world. And you have some groundbreaking Alzheimer research in this journal of our Alzheimer and the effect of 𝗖𝗵𝗶 multi-nutrient complex on cognitive and immune functioning in Alzheimer's disease. What the fuck does that mean, my brother?
I am impressed. I do that without reading
it. David, we have, my colleagues and I have shown something that is completely unique in the scientific literature in people with moderate to severe Alzheimer's disease. You kind of stole my thunder a little bit there. At 12 months on this product, we showed clinically and statistically significant improvement in cognitive function in people with moderate to severe Alzheimer's disease who were on average 79.9 years of age. They didn't just have Alzheimer's, they had diabetes, depression, various forms of heart disease. So these were very old folks, and they were also very sick folks. In addition to the cognitive function finding, which was, by the way, according to the ADAS-Cog, that's the gold standard for assessing cognitive function. That's not my opinion. That's according to the scientific literature. We also showed improvements in the CD4 to CD8 ratio. This is an overall marker of how well your immune system is functioning. That's actually not important just for people with Alzheimer's. That's important for all of us, especially as we cross middle age. We showed improvements in chronic inflammation according to tumor necrosis factor alpha and vascular endothelial growth factor. Those proteins are commonly looked at in cancer and heart disease. Our paper was probably the first one that published that in people with Alzheimer's disease. And then finally, in that first paper, we showed a 286% increase in adult stem cell production according to CD14 cells. Again, that's unheard of. You can compare our dietary supplement formula to anything else in the scientific literature. Certainly the 5 FDA-approved drugs for dementia, they don't do anything. If you're lucky, you might delay progression of the disease for maybe a year or so, but you can compare that to any kind of diet, any other dietary supplement, exercise, hyperbaric oxygen, red light therapy, sound therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, acupuncture, you name it. I challenge anybody out there to show me the same type of results in some other kind of treatment or intervention, whatever you want to call it, that even remotely comes close to comparing to ours, because there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right. Good friend of mine, and you may be aware of who this is, Dr. David Perlmutter.
Yes.
I've known David for a long time, and just spent 3 weeks with him in Egypt. And we've had long conversations about the efficacy of Alzheimer's treatment. And to your point that you just made, most of the drugs that are used today absolutely do not work. And as a matter of fact, some of them they actually make it worse. I'm
Correct.
fascinated by what you're doing with this. And part of the question here has to do with the ability of what, this 𝗖𝗵𝗶 multinutrient complex, how does it move past the blood-brain barrier? Because that's actually where the work gets done. It has to get done in the brain. So, that permeability, how what's the secret sauce there?
Well, again, remember what I said. The last point was that this dietary, and by the way, this is a dietary supplement. This is not a drug. We now call it Daily Brain Care. This is let me correct you guys on the pronunciation. This is an aloe-polysaccharide. So this is complex sugar from aloe vera. So what happens is these polysaccharides are signaling mechanisms to our immune system. Our immune system is way more than just our first line of defense against infection. It's actually the conductor of the symphony orchestra, talking to all the other major organ systems, keeping them regulated, in balance, and dealing with inflammation in various levels. And of course, there's a difference between acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Polysaccharides are literally unlike anything else Mother Nature provides for us, especially the two in our formula from aloe vera and rice bran, because they are literally like 5D structures. They are so complex in their biochemical structure, you cannot even draw these things on a piece of paper. So remember what happens every time we either consume something or something goes through the skin. Our genes interpret that information. That's a coded library of information. And our working theory is because these polysaccharides are so complex, they have so much more information in them compared to amino acids, fatty acids, certainly vitamins or minerals. This is the reason why these things drive this healing effect. And we're not treating disease. Please remember, with nutrition, we do not treat disease. We provide the raw materials that the body needs to function properly, as guided by our genes to guide the cells and how to function. That is a totally different paradigm, a totally different use of the English language related to the pharmacological paradigm of taking a chemical, altering a metabolic pathway to treat a symptom of a disease which causes side effects.
I love it. Wow. Good stuff.
And Dr. Lewis, the availability today at Dr. Lewis Nutrition, is this something that's approved and available today?
Yes, sir. We've been selling this product, Daily Brain Care, for the last 5 years. Actually, it's our 5-year anniversary this month. This is my flagship product. This is my life's work, gentlemen. I have spent the last 2 decades working on this product. Blaine, I didn't know you're friends with _𝗏𝗏. He and I both went to the University of Miami. That's where we conducted all of this research. Maybe you can get him on board. I've tried talking to him about this stuff, and it falls on deaf ears. So maybe you can help me turn his ear a little bit there. But
he's in Antarctica right now, but I'll touch base with him.
This is a dietary supplement. It doesn't, dietary supplements operate under the GRAS, or actually the 𝗙𝗵𝗶 Act from 1994. So GRAS, generally recognized as safe, as long as you're using materials that have been, again, recognized as safe, you do not need FDA approval. In fact, we don't want our dietary supplements to require FDA approval like what Dick Durbin has been trying to do. The senator from Illinois, for years, he's been trying to change the regulations for dietary supplements. I think it's a terrible idea, and I hope that never passes Congress, because that would not only would it dramatically change the way we even look at dietary supplements, it would dramatically increase the price of every product on the market.
Yeah, I just wrote a book about Durbin, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, it's called "Don't Do Business with Dicks."
I love it.
I knew you would. And is there any, Dr. Lewis, do they go to drlewisnutrition.com to get the supplements?
Yes, Daily Brain Care is available at drlewisnutrition.com. It's also available on Amazon for those folks that prefer shipping or shopping on Amazon as well. But yes, we have, gentlemen, we have something on our hands that literally is, and I don't mean to sound like a narcissist, but there's nothing else in the marketplace that has the scientific support that Daily Brain Care has. We published 4 articles from our Alzheimer's study. We published 3 articles from our multiple sclerosis study leading to the creation of this product. So it's unlike anything else. And as I mentioned, this is my life's work. Unfortunately, when we made this discovery that I just mentioned to you, that was really all of the major points of our first paper, I thought I was going to have NIH and Alzheimer's Association writing me blank checks to extend this research. After 4 attempts, 2 with NIH and 2 with Alzheimer's Association, after getting that much in return, I said, the heck with this. I'm out of academics. So that's what I've been doing for the last several years now in the dietary supplement world. I still have a voluntary appointment with the University of Miami, but I'm growing this business, and I'm trying to touch. My goal in my company is to try to touch at least 1 million lives, which is, really not that significant of a number when you consider there's 8.5 or so billion people on the planet. But
is it for all age groups, or what age
Yes,
did you start taking?
Yes, sir. I've been on it for over a decade. I've had my mother on it for over 13 years. I started both of my children on it when they turned 6 months of age. My wife was taking it when she was pregnant, started taking it when she was pregnant. So this is a cradle to grave strategy. These polysaccharides from aloe vera, first of all, nobody eats aloe vera, right? I mean, that's unheard of. If you eat brown rice, you're getting a little bit of that rice bran, but you're not getting enough really to have a therapeutic effect. So this is why dietary supplements fill in the gap of what you get through your normal or regular diet. But yes, this is a cradle to grave strategy to keep your immune system functioning properly, keep your inflammation low, keep your oxidation low, keep your stem cell production active. I mean, there's so many effects that we could spend. This would be a lot longer conversation if I had the time to really go down deeper into some of the more details with you guys.
We'll have you back on, and I do have one suggestion, though. You should have donated it to the University of Miami football team. Maybe they could have beaten IU. They were this close. I think this could have been the differentiator. So maybe for next season, I know the coach there, so he can get the introduction to 𝗙𝗵𝗄. I'll give you the introduction to the football team, and maybe we'll bring home a national championship as well.
That would be amazing. When I was a graduate student at UM, I actually tutored Mario Cristobal for 1 semester when he was a senior. How's that for a connection?
That's beautiful. Well, look, go on Amazon, go to drlewisnutrition.com, change your life from cradle to grave. The grave will be much farther out, I promise you. Right. And, having worked with my mom who passed last year and had, mild dementia, it was quite painful. And to think that there's things that can help to make sure that the end of our life is as cognitively enjoyable as the mid and beginning of it as well. I'm going to buy some for Blaine for his birthday. Make sure my coach is clear. I don't want him getting all dementia on me. And he looks healthy, but you never know. So I'm really appreciative as well. Dr. Lewis promised us you'll come back on. Thank you for having a good sense of humor as well. Hopefully Dick Durbin won't get me killed, and we will be fine.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure. I'm happy to come back anytime.
As long as you dress up, you're always welcome. Wear that tie. Thank you, my friend. Great job. I'm buying some right. I got Amazon points, man. I'm jumping on that right away.
You're good. Just dive.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, we lost Rhett as usual. He's going to his son's game, I'm sure.
Yep.
What's your takeaway? What's your takeaway?
Well, between the two of them, I'm going to throw this thing in the bucket of immune systems. Systems. So immune system is one thing, business systems is another. When we start paying attention to the health and well-being of the system, all kinds of things become possible. Whether it's through the use of AI and the disruption that it causes to an existing system. You can position things very, very interestingly when you're starting to become aware of what that is. And the same thing's true, I think, with health and well-being, just on a physical level. So I'm just going to land on, you want to take a look at what is the system that you're interacting with. The whole idea of strategic conversations are systems conversations. They're not conversations about tactics, and that's what we want to play with.
I love it. And what's interesting to me is I study two things. I study man-made constructs and how they're reconciled in the infinite. And when I'm studying time and I'm studying money in the realm of the infinite loop of giving, the infinite system of thought, the infinite energy and intuition and intelligence and even inspiration that exists. I love to see things that are relative to time and money. And it's interesting because obviously we discussed how AI was relative to this relationship and changes that relationship today. But listening to Dr. Lewis as well, you know, when we're looking at our health, and I would say Alzheimer's and dementia, brain health is, as you know, is so critical. It's so fascinating, that technology, even in the realm of nutrition, has given us an opportunity to change this relationship of time and money.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things were only available to super, super wealthy people. And I see that we're going to do a stem cell mastermind. And, everybody gets 2 treatments during the mastermind besides having all the leading doctors and in the space to educate people. But, to think I can do that at a mastermind, to think that there's a daily pill out there that can help to diminish any type of dis-ease in my brain is phenomenal, let alone what AI is doing, which is, out of control and unfathomable, kind of like ordering something on Amazon and getting it by 10 a.m. the same day. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But for me, it's the relativity between time and money and what technology has allowed us to do to change that relationship is my takeaway for the day, to reconcile the infinite with the man-made constructs. That's what Blaine has taught me to do over the years. He's my mentor, my coach, my teacher, and I am blessed to call him one of my best friends. The double B, he's AAA in my book. Blaine Bartlett, he's taking possibilities and making them into reality for so many millions of people around the world. Blaine, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Look forward to next week. Are you okay? You're going to dinner right now. You got a VIP thing that's coming up right now. That's where you're heading.
Yeah. Well, I got time in the car. I'll call you right after the show.
Okay, because I'm going to suggest tomorrow too, because there's a couple of points I wanted to kind of
hammer
a little bit.
You got time right now?
I got time right now. Yeah, I got time right now.
I'll call you in 1 minute after I do the big close. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. This is Blaine Bartlett. I'm David Meltzer. This is Office Hours episode 857 or so. We're here every day. It's Thankful Thursday. The fastest and easiest way to say thank you to change your life is to say thank you. 0.1 seconds is free. Remember, simple things to do are simple not to do. We're going to be down in Irvine having dinner right now. VIP dinner sold out as usual. Then we will be in Houston. Let me host you in Houston at, that's right, Aspire Business Tour. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, myself, Andrew Cordell, Eddie Wilson, Cody Sanchez, so many more. Then we're coming back to Orange County for the Orange County Mastermind. Then we're coming back to Las Vegas for season 10. Then we're going to Phoenix for the Professional Athlete Community and EO event. Then we'll be in Augusta, Georgia for the Masters. Meetups, holding courts, interviews, speeches, VIP dinners, TV shows, interviews, speeches, whatever I just said, it's all available. Be my guest. Go ahead. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want to be informed and invited, there's a lot of shit going on, 200 different things a year or more. Just go ahead, join our text community and stay informed and invited. 949-298-2905. That's 949-298-2905. But remember, regardless, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done.